Guys, today we are going to be doing a little test for you guys, a little experimental idea. So what we did was last night we threw some balls in the freezer, let them go overnight until today's round. I froze up some of the Vice Drive that I picked up. Jesse, would you freeze over today?
I froze some classic Nike Mojos, and I've got some unfrozen as well. I was scrolling through online. I got recommended a Golf Digest article. It ran through scientifically way too smart for anybody to truly understand why it might actually be better to freeze your balls. And so I figured, to make it easier for everyone else, why don't we just run the numbers and find out? So today we're going to hit about 5 drives with a normal test ball, and then we're going to look at all the stats, all the numbers that this has. Then we're going to run it back, and we're going to hit 5 more with the frozen balls and see if they do truly hold their performance better.
So we're going to dive right into it here. Going to do a little tee flip here, see who tees off first. All right,
Let's
Jesse,
go.
you start. Alright.
Alright, warm balls first.
Hang on. Let me get this switched over to you. How did you reset this last time?
Options, scoring, I think. Yep, delete all shots. Okay.
Alright.
Not a terrible start there. I'm really interested to see what the results are going to be, because I've always been told that the worst thing that you could probably ever do is leave your golf balls out in the cold. Couple decent guys to start out.
Yeah. So how come it's showing our club speed on the range but not when we're playing 18?
I'm not sure, actually. But it did throw me off at first, because I was looking for my ball speed, and I saw the club head speed after a drive that went like 200, 204 yards, and it said 86 miles per hour. I'm like, now, I'm no mathematician. I don't think you can have a ball go that slow and have it go 200.
Are you sure?
I think I would be a lot better at golf if you could. Actually. Couldn't have 5 really good ones. You gotta get a little median in there, that's all.
Well, I guess I can continue for you here, right?
I suppose, but I mean, either or, it's fine. There's the tee. And then what, one more, I think?
One more? Yeah. So yeah, this is your 5th shot right here. And these were the non-frozen, correct?
Yep. These are just the regular ones.
Yeah, so this
I'm
would be-
going to take a picture of that, and then we're going to compare that. You get the mouse out of the way for me. And then we will compare that to what they end up being with the frozen balls. And that's how we'll have our final answer.
So am I just hitting the X here now, or no? I'm hitting
Range. And then now you're going to skip playing.
Options, game, yeah.
Now, didn't you leave a buddy's drive here last time, or did you put it in your bag after?
I don't remember.
Oh man.
That's the problem. So I'm gonna end up having to hit unfortunately different role, I think.
No.
Oh, closest I got.
Mine is a 1-to-1 at least, so that will have its
Yeah.
concrete evidence.
There.
Now, what are you expecting to see here as far as your regular balls?
I'm thinking I'm gonna see about 150, 180, somewhere in that range. I'm gonna have my typical cut to the left.
You might leave it out. Now, do you expect that the frozen balls are going to do better, or is it going to be the standard balls?
I think we're gonna see no noticeable difference.
I feel like that's probably the most likely outcome. It did say it was like 4% better.
So realistically, in the day to day, my swing ranges more than that 4%. So I'm really not gonna see anything.
But if you get it right, but in theory, I guess what the opposite of that could be is if you get an extra 4% when you do connect, it's gonna go further than you've ever hit it before, right?
Yeah, but like, as you can see from here, my swing is still inconsistent. I don't think I'm gonna, at least myself, being that I've just started golfing last season, I don't think I'm gonna have good numbers to even compare with because my swing is just so different every time.
Oh, for all we know, you could take out the frozen balls and start cranking them 210 on a line. We'll have to see.
I guess so. Maybe that's what I needed this whole time, was to fix my golf game, was I needed to be freezing my balls. Could we, what do you think the chances of seeing some negative performance out of the frozen balls?
I'm gonna be real with you, I hadn't for a single second even considered that it would do worse. I really haven't.
Another T, 8 by the 7 apparently?
Now, how did you get there?
I went to navigate, and then compare shots, and then I hit the average checked,
Alright, so go ahead
and I'll snap a picture of that.
snap
one.
a picture here.
We will also edit these into the video for you guys at the end.
Yeah, if it's a little hard to see.
Yeah, we'll edit them in at the end, and kind of when we're going over everything, we'll have it posted up at the end. You'll also be able to find screenshots of that on our Twitter and Instagram as well.
Now, here we go with the frozen ball. Should I delete these shots so it doesn't mess with the averages yet?
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright, start us off, big man. What are you expecting to see when you hit a frozen ball?
Now, early result. I honestly expected the ball speed to be a little bit lower than my average. I expect to see maybe a little bit more spin to it, and that could be what leads to, if you do hit it right, it will go further than your average ball. So I'm interested in seeing if that turns out, but so far that first shot was pretty much the definition of my stock standard drive, with just about any ball on any hole. So we'll see how this goes.
It's a pretty far leading cut, which I haven't seen from you in a hot minute. I haven't seen you go left like that in a while.
No. I'm wondering if I was, yeah, I guess I could have moved a little bit further away, but still, that must have been mostly me on that one. I've noticed, with a couple drives, when we were playing 9 holes, as I went into my downswing here, I was almost starting to close the club face of the driver a little bit.
We'll stop doing that.
Although they went the exact same distance, both shots, just either side. Okay, well.
I would argue that this is actually performing a little bit worse.
I think so. At least after these first 3.
Like we're
Unless-
halfway.
Unless the last
through.
2 turned out differently.
We're at over the halfway point of your hit, so as of right now, I would say just keep them in your golf bag.
Alright, let's see. quite the discussion to have there, I'm guessing. Huh.
Now, see, this is ultimately where I'm saying that I don't think at our level of how good of golf we play, I don't think we are going to see those 4% margins.
I don't know, man. Those last two absolutely went further.
Yeah?
I don't think that we'll look at bring up the averages screen
Yep.
and then let's really get to seeing. Cause I can't lie, those last couple shots felt very nice.
So off the driver, I would say that you definitely got a little. I mean, we won't know until we actually do a little side-by-side comparison. But from what I remember, I think there is a little bit of an increase.
From what I can see, I would expect there to be a better apex on average. Probably a little bit, but I would be very interested to see what the difference in vertical angle is, to see if it was anything to do with me, like teeing it up differently, or if it truly was the ball. Because say if my vertical angle is closer to like 9 degrees in the first set, it could be very well likely tied to that if there's a bigger distance than the ball being frozen more so than anything. I think what I like to see the most, at least, is I've got a yard of variation. So if anything, maybe the spin numbers. I think that's going to be the most telling of what we've gotten captured.
Alright. Now this is me firing off my frozens.
The frozen vices. Now, didn't you say that what is your preferred golf ball to use?
Mine personally, with my skill level and everything, I actually prefer these vice drives. Unfortunately, where I live, I have a hard time finding them. Because we were just at Target today. Target, unfortunately, clearanced them all out. So I don't know if Vice discontinued the Vice drive this year, or what happened on that point. But where I used to buy these, clearanced them out and is no longer carrying the Vice drive.
I wouldn't be surprised if they were getting rid of the 2-year-old Vices and are looking to get a newer batch. And that
True.
could very well be why. Because, I mean, it's a department store at the end of the day. It's not like they're keeping up with the cutting edge of golf technology necessarily.
Because unfortunately, we do not have any kind of pro shop that is actually worth it.
Now, early reaction, did that feel any different?
Felt pretty similar. I don't. Kind of basing off where I hit that though, I would say that was more of a bad hit than winning the ball.
Oh, see, I was thinking even though it wasn't the greatest hit, I think it went further than your bad hits last time.
It did.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I want to wipe this off now, since we got that instant feedback on these. Kind of see if I'm hitting that sweet spot or not. I would also like to point out, it's worth pointing out, is that this hole is a lot more fucked up than when we were here earlier today.
I haven't had an issue with it.
But there's not as many slivers of wood tees in here, which is nice. Ooh. I'm just not looking right now.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It absolutely looks like it's rolling longer.
It is definitely rolling longer.
I'm not sure exactly what would be causing any sort of difference in the roll per se, but I don't think I'm blind in saying that's for sure happening.
I'm just not hitting these drives all this time now.
Not that one. The first two weren't bad.
See if we can get some fuck on this one here. That might arguably be a career best drive right there.
I think it is, yeah. And that's absolutely the highest ball speed I've ever seen you have recorded, 113. Basically about the perfect vertical launch, or at least what I look for sure. Now for the numbers.
I feel like a nice case is going to come out worse.
Let's take our photograph. Let's see, tell us what you're thinking here.
Alright,
Tell us how it feels like.
I'm feeling like definitely.
Hot bowl of fuck or what?
What was that?
I was asking if it feels like a hot bowl of fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
And afterwards, give me a final report after you tell me how you're feeling.
Well, I really gotta work on my teeing angle here.
What do we? Oh man, an
Yeah.
average of 3 degrees. Yeah, that's about. For the viewers at home, I would say that's about 10 degrees off of what he would be
What are
looking
you
for.
to see? Are you looking at my current old numbers here?
I am not looking at your. Let's see your first round numbers
I'm really
here.
curious to see why am I having a 0-yard variation in my draw and fade when there was
'Cause
clear.
it's not. If you look at the 5 shots here, there's no hook, there's no shank. It's pretty much straight down the
True.
straight down the pipe. Now, if you want your direct comparison here,
Yeah, so let's kind of go down these numbers here. What was my distance, average distance of the first round?
round one, your average distance was 123 yards.
So we lost.
So you had 1 yard more distance. Now,
Yes.
your carry in the first round was 101. So that's distance in the air went dramatically down.
Right, but now I'm curious to see what was my run distance, because it felt like when I was playing, my balls were running a lot more with the frozen ball.
And in your first round, the run out, you only got 22 yards. So 11 yards less on average.
That is quite substantial. If I could
That is a
gain
noticeable amount.
Yeah, if I could gain those 11 yards every time after every tee box, that would be substantial.
If you're hitting low stingers constantly, that's round one, your club head speed, very similar, but only 72 miles per hour compared to the 73. There shouldn't be any variation there. That's your club. It's just as cold as cold is. Now your ball speed went 102 in the first round compared to 103 in the second. Minor difference, but it is a difference.
It is a difference. It's a whole 1 mile an hour.
Your vertical angle last round was 4.5, so still
bad, but better at tee.
closer. Yep. Your horizontal angle was much worse in the first round. It was 8.7 degrees to the left.
And what should I be looking for?
Ideally, you want it to be as close to zero as possible because that's hitting it straight as could be. For backspin, you had an average backspin round one of 4,216 RPM.
So a little more backspin with that one.
Now, the problem there lies in you did use two different balls for the
True.
2 rounds.
Yes, we did.
So I'm thinking that's
the difference.
that's where the difference comes in. Yep. Side spin, your first round was 677 to the left. So you're way better here, only spinning 26 to the right.
Yep.
Your highest apex was 15 feet, so your ball was going higher in the air.
But that would directly correlate with my higher vertical angle in the last round as well.
Yep, that is true. And then you had a 3-yard draw to the left in round one.
So my shot is actually going on a straight path better frozen.
That is for truly. I mean, so it's very similar, all things considered. Now, let's take a look at my 2 results here.
Alright, so now, did you clear your shots from the last one?
No, round 2 is still there. So pull up the navigate, the compare shots, and then average check. Yep.
So now this is your frozen. If you want to head up there, kind of give a point, I can read off some numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright, so we'll start at the top here. On your first round, you had a carry distance of 190 yards.
Total number 1.
Yep.
Well,
So that's 18 yards more.
That's
18 yards is
not
18
nothing.
yards.
That's not
That's
nothing.
that's almost 2 first downs.
That's about, if you get lucky, that's about the distance of a chip. You
Yeah.
could be saving yourself close to a shot there, in theory.
In theory, yeah. And then we got a carry distance of 176 on that first round.
Wow, so the ball was going 20 more yards in the air with the frozen ball than it was.
With a run distance of 13 yards.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So,
So you,
about the same.
yeah. And then we had a ball speed of 116.
What about my club speed? Let's do that first.
Oh yeah, 85.
Oh, okay.
So you were hitting
So
better shots.
that is a noticeable difference there. I was hitting it harder. Now, what's the ball speed difference?
116 on the first round.
That's a big difference right there. The
Yeah.
ball is going faster, absolutely.
Going
How was I
faster,
on the-
frozen, but
how
you're
was I on the
also
tee?
hitting the ball harder. So are you seeing those differences from hitting the ball harder? Is that why you're seeing a faster ball speed?
But that much faster, it's probably a combination of the two, to be honest.
Was a
Because that's a lot faster.
vertical angle of 12.5.
The exact same.
Exact same vertical
Okay,
angle.
wow. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I really like that. That makes it really easy
Yeah.
to track.
With a horizontal angle of 1.1 degrees to the right.
Okay, we're in the same neighborhood there.
Yep.
That's
Backspin of 43.45.
okay, so it does not spin as much.
Spins significantly less.
Because yours also spun less on the
Yeah.
frozen.
So I would even say it's a significant less.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
And then you had a side spin of 99 to the right.
Okay, that's not too far off, but it is a little straighter.
Yep. A apex of 64 feet,
10 feet higher.
10 feet
That's-
higher. That's noticeable. And a draw fade of 1 yard.
So 1 yard to the right then.
It just says 1 yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would say negative for draw. Okay, so that's the same too.
Yeah. So realistically,
All in all, it looks,
Looks to
pretty
be.
similar, but if you're the type of person where you're looking for every competitive edge, if you're trying to get every foot, if you're trying to save yourself anywhere you can, say you're not too great around the green, but you're really awesome on the tee, well, if you come up with a frozen ball and you're hitting
Yeah.
it that much further, you can still have a really good looking scorecard.
so now here's my question to you, Jesse, as we're kind of wrapping up the video. Keeping your balls frozen when you're on the course. Because
Oh, no, you're not supposed to. Maybe I didn't go over that in the beginning, and that's my fault. You're supposed to get your balls back to room temperature before you actually play with them. The frozen ones, you got to allow them time. Otherwise, if they're still cold, you're gonna lose out on a lot of distance.
So now, but going with that statement, we went from our house to the golf sim, hit 5 shots, correct them out. It is not going to be that similar when you're on a course. Because when you're on hole 18, are you still going to see those performances? Because they've been at room temperature for, 2 hours, 2.5 hours till you got to hole 18.
I believe so. I think the point of freezing them in a hole is more to preserve them and make their ideal range of use last a little bit longer than it is necessarily to see hole-to-hole benefits right away. Especially because these balls are pretty old. Nike, haven't been making balls for a long time. So the fact that they're consistently going a little bit further, and all you have to do is freeze them before and let them get back to room temp, I might implement it into my bag, honestly.
You're not implementing this into your bag. Don't lie.
Look, man, the numbers are right there on the screen.
Comment down below if you really think he's going to be freezing balls in between rounds, and stay tuned to our TikTok where we call him out this summer when he's not freezing his balls.
I think I'm gonna try and freeze my balls. I think you should freeze your balls.
I think everybody should freeze their balls.
I think it's better for balls.
If you got balls,
Freeze and
freeze them.
thaw. Freeze and thaw.
But in practice, I could very easily seeing it being easily forgotten, tossing them in the freezer. And if you're anything like me, I keep my balls in my golf bag.
That's
So
fair.
now-
I think most people do, but
So now you're asking me to spend extra time grabbing my balls
you're in your house
out
anyway.
of my golf bag, putting them into the freezer,
Yes,
putting them back into my golf bag before they're on.
if you want.
All again.
I'm not saying you have
20
to.
yards?
I'm just saying you can, and that the science bears out. I honestly wasn't ready to believe Golf Digest when I read the article. I thought there was no way, because all along in my life I've heard you can't let your golf balls get cold,
True.
you can't let your clubs get cold. So
Actually-
seeing this is a real shock to the system.
Going back, thinking about it, I recall in the beginning of winter, I shot you a text saying, hey, your balls and your clubs still out in your car? Because if you're cold, they're cold. Bring them inside.
And mine were in the car. I was doing the right thing, apparently.
And apparently having me bring your stuff back inside was the bad call.
The more you know. I'm glad to have brought this little research project to all you people. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. Stay tuned. I don't think I'll ever do another experiment again. Unless you have an idea that you want me to test, I'll try it out.
We'll be doing more experiments. Come on.
Experiment this. I don't know what else you want to see.
Yeah,
I'll
let us
prove
know.
it. I don't know.
Yeah, let us know what you want to see in the
I'm
comments.
not sports science, but I'll try it out.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned on our Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all the following. Some good content coming out on all
Follow it.
platforms.
Like it. Watch it. Live it.